Today I'm on Khortytsia island in Zaporizhzhia city. Here you can visit the historical complex that conveys the invincible spirit of the Cossacks who lived in Zaporizhian Sich. The Zaporizhian Sich was the military and administrative center of the capital of the Cossacks' land. Zaporizhzhia means situated beyond the rock ledges of the Dnieper River. These rock ledges, or rapids, made the navigation in this part of the Dnieper River extremely dangerous for ships, which were coming along the main north-south trade route from Scandinavia to the Byzantine Empire. The term siege means to chop or cut. It is associated with the wooden, sharp, spiked pale fencing around Cossack settlements. The Zaporizhian Cossack symbolizes Ukraine's ethnic image, much like the medieval knight of Western Europe or the samurai of Japan. If you know the history of the Cossacks, you won't be surprised to find that Ukrainians, who seem quiet and humble at first sight, can go to protest on Maidan and become courageous fighters. Cossacks were fearless, assertive warriors, hardworking, hardened by the challenges and adventures, sunburned, at the same time cunning and cutthroat while chasing their enemy. I should confess that this is a special video for me, because the first 20 years of my life I spent here in Zaporizhzhia, and Khortytsia Island is my place of power. Here we start the tour, or a reconstructed model of Zaporizhian Sich. The first siege was established here on the island of Small Khortytsia in 1552. During the entire history there were 8 sieges, which were in different places, and each of them existed from 5 to 40 years. All Zaporizhian sieges did not exist at the same time, but they changed one another. This complex represents a generalization of Cossacks' fortifications of the 16th century. It has a rampart, sharp pale fencing, defense towers, and 7 houses of military barracks. In Ukrainian they are called kurins. Everything reflects the daily routine of Cossacks. It resembles Pirogova Park in Kiev or Skansen in Stockholm. The dominant part is the wooden church. This is the house of a record keeper. A record keeper was the second important person after Supreme Chief of Cossacks, or Koshovoy Ataman. At those times, Cossacks kept diplomatic relationships with many countries. He had some helpers who worked in his office. There was the special red bag, and letters from the red bag were disinfected by soaking them in vinegar to secure against the gange of plague. The ancient safe, or wooden box, where the documents, the papers, were kept, was fixed to the ground and had 3 locks from the upper part. And now we are going to visit the house of a Supreme Chief of Cossacks, or Koshovoy Ataman. This is a bedroom. The special beam on the ceiling roof combines Orthodox symbols with the hidden ones. The bed is authentic and ancient. The blanket on the bed, or a quilt, is made of 40 foxtails. There are different kinds of clothes and weapons. This is the study. We can see a cupboard with coffee. One Cossack, Yurko Kulchitsky, is famous as a person who taught all Europe to drink coffee. He was the first person to open his coffee shop, trying to serve Turkish coffee at first, but it wasn't very popular. Then he added milk and honey to his coffee and got what we called Viennese coffee now. In Vienna, there is a monument to him and a street named in his honor. You can listen to my special video dedicated to this brave Ukrainian Cossack who was a merchant, a polyglot, and an intelligent officer who saved besieged Vienna from surrounding it the Turks. As a reward, he got money, a house, and 300 bags of coffee seeds from Austrian authorities. There is a bunchuk on the wall. It is a pole with arranged horse-tail hair. It is the symbol of the authority of Supreme Chief of Cossacks, or Koshovoy Ataman.
Hi, my name is Olga, and today I'm going to tell you about the courageous Ukrainian warriors Cossacks. And the best place to do it is here, on Khortytsia island, the place where Cossacks lived and built their Sich. Cossacks is the traditional name for the members of the self-regulating military male communities that existed in the territory on Ukraine from the 15th till the 18th centuries. The main Cossacks community was called Zaporizhian Sich. The Cossacks were mostly involved in military activity. They secured trade routes and protected Ukrainian lands from Turkish and Tatar invaders. Apart from the braveness, power and intellect, the Cossacks were also well known for their unique traditions and lifestyle. The Cossacks were the Christian horsemen who lived on the steppes of Ukraine. At various times they fought for themselves, for the kings, and they were hired by the kings as soldiers wherever there was a war or a military campaign that needed ruthless warriors. Cossacks were originally a mixture of runaway peasants, fugitive slaves, escaped convicts, and derelict soldiers. The Cossacks are a separate and unique phenomenon not only in Ukrainian but in the world history as well. Not without reason, along with the courage, strength, cunning and intelligence of the Cossacks, there is often a drop of mysticism that makes them something more than just warriors. How it all started? 8 centuries ago, Ukrainians were constantly attacked by neighbors, raided by nomads. Due to this, Ukrainian men, who later were called Cossacks, rallied to protect their land. Democratism, rigid hierarchy and discipline were inherited to Cossacks for centuries. The highest authority in Sich was the council which chose the hetman. Origin of the word Cossack. Some Polish researchers believe that it came from the name of a well-known leader, whose name was Cossack and who skillfully fought the Tatars. Or that name comes from the word goat because the Cossacks were very cunning and could get anywhere. In Turkish, Cossack meant vagrant, robber or adventurer. It makes sense that the Turks gave Cossacks this very nickname, Cossack cauldron. Cossacks ate from one cauldron. It was regarded as a sacred object and the symbol of their military unit. The Cossacks' riots began when they turned upside down their cauldron. Open doors. Cossacks had an interesting custom. Their hearts were always open. A traveler or a passerby could go into the hut, have rest, eat a meal, and hit the road further. And he could do this even if the owner wasn't at home. However, there was a strict rule. He shouldn't take anything from the hut. Otherwise, there would be a punishment. And when someone found a thing in Sich, he tied it to a high pole. If the owner wasn't found within 3 days, then the thing became the possession of the one who found it. Cossacks wore wide trousers. They were called sharavary. They were so wide that around 30 watermelons could fit into them. Moustache and the scalp lock. As for the specific moustache and scalp lock, or in Ukrainian it is called chub, this is a special haircut that features a lock or hair sprouting from the top of the front of a shaven head. The tradition of shaving their heads and faces passed from local tribes to Kiev and Rus, and eventually came to the Cossacks. Cossacks considered themselves too sinful for paradise. That is why when they arrive in hell, God can have mercy on them and drag them out of the hell by their lock. And the Cossacks also said, "When I will die at the war, an angel will carry me to the sky, pulling my lock."
You can find the second part of this video about brave Ukrainian defenders in my video list. If you are planning your visit to Ukraine, I will be happy to help you. Please contact directly and we will craft your Ukrainian holiday.